You're listening to the 3 Feet Radio Show with Ben Carbonaro and Luke Herbert. From our studios come special guests and netball commentary, exclusively on YouTube.
Good morning, listeners, and welcome to the 3 Feet Radio Show. With the ANZ Championship season just under a week away, we decided it would be a good opportunity to talk to someone from the defending premiers in the Melbourne Vixens. And joining us this morning is a new signing in shooter, Alice Teague Neeld. Good morning, Alice. How are you this morning?
Good morning. I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Well, thank you. First of all, just to get things going, how are you finding being a full-time Vixen after you were previously a replacement player?
Yeah, it's been really good. It's a really great environment to be working in. Obviously, I worked with them a little bit last year, but it's a fantastic environment to work in. I've learnt so much already, and the girls are all so welcoming, which makes it a lot easier and more enjoyable. To be able to train and play with some of the best netballers, is really good, and I'm just taking in as much as I can and really enjoying it.
I'm going to skip a bit further forward in this discussion than I normally would, but in doing some research for our chat with you, we saw that on game you believe in controlling what you can control. That's almost a tongue twister there. Yeah. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So just just mean like the things like there's some things that you can control, like preparation, making sure you're mentally prepared, you're eating the right food, sleeping, and just make sure you know what the gameplay is, talk to the coaches and stuff like that. Because once you get on court, there obviously is the scoreboard pressure, the opponents and stuff that you can't control. But just making sure you can control what you can control, and so you're the best you can prepare, basically. Yeah. Right.
Your dad is Mark Neeld. He played AFL football for Geelong. He coached Melbourne, and he's now a development coach at Essendon. What sort of an influence has he had on your sporting career?
I think Dad's main influences just really encouraged me to try hard, do the best I can, and most of all enjoy what I do. So I think I've been around because Dad's been in the sporting industry for a little bit. I just kind of had a little bit of an insight into what it's all about. But most of all, he's just encouraged me to enjoy what I do and just get the most out of what I do as well.
Just sort of switching back to the ANZ Championship, the season opener is only a week away against the Central Pulse. Did you get an opportunity to play them up in Sydney during the pre-season tournament? And what are you taking from that heading into round one?
Yeah, so we played 2 practice matches against Pulse in New Zealand, last weekend, and I think as a team it was a really good chance for us to build on our strengths and just kind of get a few things down pat. And I think it was because obviously we're playing them in next week for round one. I think it was a really good chance to kind of see how they play. They play just their structure of play and just get a bit of practice in before next week.
And obviously, aside from Irene Van Dyke, of course, her record is outstanding, and she's been a great player for so long. Mm-hmm. Alice, who are the main threats? Who are the main threats that you found for the Pulse aside from Irene?
I think just as a team in general, they're a really strong team. They've got some strengths. They're very team orientated and great defence. And I think just as a whole team, we'll have to work on shutting them down as a whole team.
I was just switching gears a bit here. You were signed to the Vixens on the back of 2 prolific A&L campaigns. I saw quite a bit of you play myself, and I thought, hang on a sec, this girl will play ANZ one day. How do you feel playing at that level helped you to prepare in playing for the ANZ Championship? Obviously, you're playing against ANZ contracted players and also the best from the individual state leagues too. Yeah,
so I think A&L, I really enjoyed A&L. It was a really important, a really good stepping stone for me, I guess. And first of all, I really enjoyed it. And then secondly, the coaching provided was really great. I learnt so much, so many new skills and ideas, which needed for ANZ. And also on top of that, because we were able to travel with A&L interstate, it kind of got us a little bit used to the travelling involved in ANZ, I guess, so the environment with ANZ. Yeah.
Just sort of taking a sidestep here, what was it like growing up in Geelong?
Yeah, so I grew up in Ocean Grove and I went to school in Geelong. I played netball down in Ocean Grove for a little bit and then went to St. Joey's, which is in Geelong. So basically grew up in Geelong, Ocean Grove area and moved up to Melbourne 3 years ago now, which made it a bit easier for netball and travel and everything.
And that Geelong area has obviously produced plenty of good netball talent. You've got your current coach of the Vixens, Simone McInnes. There's your teammate, Matty Robinson. And then also one of your fellow shooters in Teague Caldwell is also from Geelong too.
Yeah. So the Geelong has a really good up-and-coming netball program down there. There's quite a few leagues. There's the Ballerine League, which I played for, and I also played in the Geelong League. And then they've also got Geelong Flyers and Geelong Cougars, which is in the VNL. So it's a really good pathway down there, and producing, as you said, quite a few good netballers.
Just for the sake of the listener who's outside of Australia, are you referring to the State League?
Yes, sorry. Yep, State League.
And Alice, I've had a little bit of a joke with a fellow journalist of mine. You may know him, Brad Green, who works at Netball Australia. It is that it's almost like it's a Geelong confidential at every Vixens training session. And I've said it to Simone a couple of times, and she says it almost is like it's almost like the Geelong Vixens, not the Melbourne Vixens.
There are quite a few girls, yes, from Geelong down there. It's good to see, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, the assistant coach, Di Honey, I believe, is also from Geelong originally too.
Yes, she is. Yeah, originally from Geelong as well. Yep, she coached down there for a little bit. Yeah, so Geelong producing good netballers.
Well, is there anything you would like to add, Alice?
I don't think so. I think we've covered a fair bit, and I'm just really excited to get started, and can't wait to be a part of this team and try and get back to back.
All right, Alice, thanks very much for joining us today, and no doubt I'll see you floating around throughout the season.
Yeah, thank you.
You've been listening to the 3 Feet Radio Show with Ben Carbonaro and Luke Herbert. Tune in next time for more special guests and netball commentary exclusively on YouTube.